I'm just gonna record it, so and we'll upload it later. So
Does it stop doing that?
I don't know.
Is there an option to?
Leave me alone.
Yeah. We're just gonna record it.
Okay.
So fuck the live stream.
Also, will this actually record the whole file?
Yeah, it'll record the whole file, and then we'll just have to upload it. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you can do if you want is you can take the volume slider and move it to down so we don't have to catch up on the.
Oh, down here, yeah. No, there is none of that anymore. So now we're good. Yeah, there's no live stream. We're just flat up recording.
We're just recording.
So actually, we should probably start that over. Because I did just start recording it. Well, I was like, fuck it, let's just record it.
That's funny.
All right, we'll leave it. Yeah. Hell with it. Episode 59 is already fucked. So it's going to be in a completely different folder now. So because you have one that's for live streams and the other one that's for uploads.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe people will actually listen to us for an hour and a half, without it being interrupted every 10 seconds. Thanks to fucking YouTube. So,
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
I don't know either.
Like I explained to William, I did have Xfinity goons out here in the neighborhood, not at my house, but they shut me down for like a day, and they were actually like replacing a lot of the stuff. And after that, I do know that the stability of my network, like we were watching the hockey game tonight, there wasn't enough interruption during the show. The bit rate changed, right?
Well, I guess you could always try. Like I could make my phone a mobile hotspot.
It's not your internet, dude. It's something between OBS and YouTube. And like at home, I've never had this problem. All right. And so, but now it's like asking me to change the bit rate and all kinds of shit that I don't understand. And so, like, I don't know. I'm just going to have to go do some research on it. Maybe we'll have to switch to a different program. I mean, I like OBS because it's free and it's really fucking easy. But if YouTube doesn't like OBS anymore, then we don't like OBS anymore.
Yeah, but YouTube likes your OBS.
YouTube is, I don't live stream anything anymore. So I haven't done a live stream since last summer. So, but I used to do it for school all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and we used to do it on here all the time too.
I don't know.
Without a single hiccup. So.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We're just recording now.
Well, maybe there's a. Remember I told you about this a long time ago about the conspiracy theory, not from me, but from some of the idiots I used to hang out with, where during the HD push, right, the theory was DirecTV was quote-unquote poisoning the standard definition signal to get people to buy the HD box.
Okay. Oh, so they're actually nerfing their own signal so that you had to get the upgrade?
No, you're saying nerfing. The actual language they said was poisoning.
Poisoning.
But maybe this means that there's kind of like a YouTube version of OBS on
that's poisoning our...
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. You don't run a VPN on this thing, do you?
No.
Yeah, okay. No. I don't know what else it would be then. So... Yeah, but...
Well, poisoning.
Well, yeah, other than poisoning. I'm eliminating possibilities just to get to yours, Joe. So, now that I think about it, it's the only logical conclusion. So, the Twitter police have found you here on YouTube.
Well, I guess you could try a dummy live stream from your house.
From my house?
From your things, if it's the same OBS.
It is.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll try it. A live stream from your house.
Listen to him troubleshoot here, man.
Or
kind of what you do for a living.
Or take your computer over to his house. Try it out there.
Oh,
that's true.
Get all kinds of fancy.
Yeah.
See if you get it to work anywhere.
I mean, there's nothing like really fancy about like what we're doing here, man. So, it's like. There's probably like a little radio button that I didn't click.
So where you go screen by screen and look at yours.
Yeah.
There's that. Or like when we worked in the oil field, that don't ever check this box, and somebody checks that one box, and then all your numbers are not working right.
Angular flow is
that's
the one that you're looking for.
Yes. That is sitting right there in the middle of the screen. like right next to the stuff you actually have to type in, and you never supposed to check that box.
Unless
God, I've never had to check that box.
you check that box if the pulse looks like it's upside down.
Oh, that's right. Because
Oh my
you
god,
have
you
your-
guys are walking way into the weeds.
because your
here, man.
transducers are backwards.
That's
Jesus
correct.
Christ, I don't even know what that is. So, nor do I want to know.
No, I will never have to do this again either. So. Well, did you go to a graduation?
Yeah, we had a little graduation.
You did?
So for my daughter.
Yeah,
It wasn't called a graduation. It's called continuation now. So since you continue on to middle school.
Yeah, maybe that is what I don't know what they call this.
So, they had cake there. Yeah, and
I would have gone to your graduation.
they had cake and no speeches. So
Just teacher speeches.
no, not even. Yeah,
Wait, what? They just
No.
like called names?
yeah. They called names and they read one line from each kid. Like, this is what you want to do while you're in middle school. You know, kind of thing. And they had them write that down. And then it was like that. And then the AP was like, well, we got a couple awards for faculty to pass out, blah, blah, blah. And then there were a couple, like, the GT dorks gave out their awards.
My son got some of the GT.
Yeah, yeah. So did he get like 4 of them?
He got 2.
Yeah, okay. Was there a kid who got like 4 or 6 of them?
There was 3 total you could do. He
Okay.
didn't do the battle of the books.
Yeah.
Competition.
No, my daughter didn't do that either. So you're supposed to read like 50 books or
He was
something.
supposed to read at home, and he was just like, "That's not
Like,
going to happen.
I can't do that while I'm on
I can
YouTube.
video
Yeah.
game. Why would I
Does
just volunteer?
Minecraft count as reading? Yeah. Well, like her continuation, it was like it was like reminding me of like some of those ceremonies when I was a kid. I don't remember having a continuation ceremony.
I did.
No, but I remember like doing a couple things in junior high that were kind of like that, where you had a like prep. What were the assemblies? Pep assemblies?
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
pep assemblies.
Yeah, okay. And they give out academic
there.
awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like the same
No.
3 kids who got all of them over and over again.
Well, pep
So-
assemblies didn't have awards for that.
Well, I'm
was
remembering
before the
something
story,
where
but
we
they
did
did
have.
have-
Yeah.
You would have award ceremonies. See, you would have awards.
Okay.
Yeah.
What official title it is. But yeah, everyone would gather in the gym, and they call out
Yeah.
some names. And
Well, the bottom line is, were the risers extended
Yes.
or not?
yes.
Otherwise, you're sitting on the floor, fucker.
And if you're on the floor, then it's a tornado drill.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, because we didn't have active shooter drills.
I've done those.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
for
oh,
as a teacher?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, as a
Oh,
teacher.
okay.
Oh, well,
I was like, we didn't do those.
no, not of course not. Not back then.
Did we have a ceremony going to high school? Like
Going into high school? No.
No, I didn't have any ceremony until you
did.
graduated, right? Did you?
We had a graduation from Anna M. Rudy, and we had a graduation from.
Oh, we did
Did
not.
we?
Wow, they must change that just within those 2 years.
I'm like, I don't.
Well,
I know that I didn't have one at going from
if you're
6th grade to
talking
7th
about
grade.
like a full blown like. All of my relatives are in from Ohio, kind
Don't
of thing.
stand
no.
up for pictures so that your parents can get you on stage.
It was no, there wasn't anything like that. It was a in classroom celebration.
Oh,
That-
yeah,
that-
no,
that
no, that's not what we're
yeah.
talking
That's all I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
there was technically, and I do believe that I can check, but I think there was a certificate they gave.
Yeah, in class. Yeah,
So
that's fine.
that's what I'm saying is that there may have been a celebration, and you know what? I'm pretty sure that root beer floats were served.
right, but the parents weren't there.
Yeah, your parents didn't come to
No, I think they could if they wanted to.
that. Oh.
It's
No, I don't see. I don't remember anything like that. I don't remember
I
anything
remember like
that.
a root bear float thing.
There was definitely like a little celebration, and I remember there being like bonus recess and
yeah.
See, I just remember track and field day being like the last big thing.
unofficial.
Of the year. Yeah, the
like,
unofficial.
school doesn't count after.
No, everybody brings their fucking tents and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So yeah.
Did you have one from middle school to high school?
Yeah, it was the same kind of
Same
thing.
thing,
It was
okay.
the same.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't remember anything for that either.
It was just
I couldn't get out of junior high fast enough. So.
keep in mind that on my last day of junior high, I ditched school and I got caught. And that was
What you did? What?
yeah. So my last day of 8th grade, Rob and I skipped school.
Oh, you skipped school.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we got caught. Well, I got caught.
did you guys go over to the 7-Eleven?
Dude, we did lots of stuff. No,
Yeah.
no, that was a fun day, but yeah, I ended up getting caught by my folks, and
Were they the ones who actually caught you? Like drove by and say, "I think I recognize that kid."
I don't remember how they found out, but they found out, and I just remember that because that was the day because we were there.
On the phone.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that was the trick, and it was funny because I had a friend Jimmy, if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he later on brought me the award they were giving to me for perfect attendance.
No.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely true. And it was funny because this was the way that we skipped. I was there, so we were doing block at that point. Which
I hated blocks.
yeah, I didn't love it. And I had math first block, and me and Rob were there, and we got in, and we saw everybody and everything, and the teacher just hadn't gotten in yet. We just kind of looked at each other, it's like,
Yeah.
let's go,
Let's go.
let's go,
Bold.
and we did. Yeah, but evidently there was some kind of a ceremony because I was supposed to win some kind of award at this thing. I wasn't there for it. That's how I
Perfect
know.
attendance. See, that's just like the amazing irony, man.
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought it was funny. But
Yeah, I
that
think it was great. You know, my sister-in-law won a car. So for perfect attendance her senior year of high school.
A car?
A car. They had a drawing for anybody who had perfect attendance, and they won a car. So
Wow.
she actually, there was only like 6 kids in the drawing. So it's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
So she actually got a free car.
Did you have to pay taxes?
Oh yeah,
Of course you do.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, she didn't win like a fucking Tesla or something. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, the auto shop fixed up a car that was like, you know, good for another like 50,000 miles kind of thing.
We have one of those that pulled into our parking.
What?
It looks like Mater from Cars. Have you got?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
The tow mater. So he's like looks like a giant tow truck with all rusted parts, and it's
Oh, that
all
guy, yeah.
welded together.
Wasn't that Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this, it's a real truck that it's like looks like it's been cut into 5 different pieces, and it's just mangled together, and it's all put together. And then on the very front is a stuffed teddy bear, and Livy's like, "There's a bear on the front of it," and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. And he pulls into the parking lot and picks up his kids.
Honey, don't you go near that car.
You see you parked down by the river all the time. Yeah.
I was just like, oh my
Stay
God.
away from that. That teddy bear is a trap.
It swallows kids.
That guy doesn't even have kids.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like Q at the sniffing the babies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, I don't have any kids here. Really? What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I don't remember having too many of those ceremonies though.
Well, we also got slurped into high school with the
That's right. We actually didn't
too.
have to. Yeah, they changed the whole system.
Yeah.
Right as we moved. So I was kind of actually glad that we had 6th grade in elementary school. Then they went over to the middle school model, and I don't know. Like, you didn't teach 6th graders, did you? You taught 7th graders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to have 6th grade at elementary school, and
Yeah.
only 7th and 8th.
Oh, see, that's good. Yeah.
I only had to spend.
Ooh, I
two-
wish I could have done it that way. That would have been a lot better. I had a lot more fun in high school than I did in junior high.
considerably, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would have liked that. No, but I remember, like, so when I was 7, the English class that I was subbing for the pregnant lady, that was the 6th grade. And it was kind of like, I had all the 6th graders, and that was it. And
Yeah.
yeah. And so It was actually kind of interesting because they kind of like walled them off from the dangerous kids.
Yep.
So in seventh grade. So, and I tell everybody that, I tried teaching in junior high, or I guess middle school for a while, until I realized that seventh graders are universally awful fucking people. All of them.
Eighth graders ain't that much
Eighth
better.
graders ain't that much better. In fact, that was the first time we got accused of not caring about a student. So,
Oh.
and failing to respect them. Yeah.
Did you say some students?
Oh no,
you
she
left
and
behind?
there was another one. She said, "Stop judging me," and I was like, "Well, that's kind of my job when I grade your papers." So, I probably wouldn't have made it very
That's a
long.
rough one, yeah, because it's like, well, you have to understand that to judge you, I would have to care.
Right? Yeah.
And you must understand, I refuse to do that
Yeah.
under any circumstance.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't remember too many good times teaching at that level. So.
I didn't love it
No, but you did high school for a while too, though, right?
Yeah.
Did you like high school a lot more?
considerably.
Okay. What was your favorite grade?
Um,
Because I know you got them all at one point in time.
I did, but I'll say this: most of the staff really tried to call dibs on the ninth graders.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
probably in the same vein that they would try to nab the sixth graders.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if there's this element of perhaps I can get them before complete and utter cynicism.
Well, fail to give a shitism. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, with most students, there is a little bit of that, hydrochloric acid in their brain. But I mean, by the time they get to 11th grade, all right, there have been significant chunks of all four lobes that have been turned into goop by that stuff.
Right.
Yet, at the same time, it turns around for most high school seniors, right?
Yeah.
Which, those guys were fun, sort of.
Yeah, because you did yearbook one year, didn't you? That was all seniors?
No, it was
Oh.
students from all groups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just seniors.
Yeah. But, yeah, when I had a class of seniors, because there's not shit that you can do about some of that, because at the senior level, it's like, well, actually, you aren't obligated to be here.
No, I'm going to the Army next year anyway.
No. So if a kid just doesn't show up, I'm like, check.
Check. Yeah.
It's like, just not here.
Yeah.
And then when they show up at the end of the semester, they're like, hey, is there... no, man, you were gone 75% of the time.
No, man.
There's nothing I can do for you. Do you care? It's like, okay, great. Well, then come here this summer.
Right, yeah. We'll get you sorted
Rectify
out.
this
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah.
Or the other people were just very compliant in the terms of, so explain to me in the most basic detail what I need to do
Yep.
in order to move on from this level. Not a problem.
That's college,
man.
100%,
Absolutely,
man.
sure.
That is all of my students. So with rare exceptions.
That actually want to learn.
They don't need to learn, man. You can learn anything you want to learn about business on fucking YouTube. So
Yeah.
you can. So they just, what do I need to do in order to pass?
To
That's
get your paper.
I want my paper. I want my credential. That's all college is anymore, is a fucking credential, man. Unless you're going to like some fancy school and you're rich already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody else is just like, how do I get a better fucking job?
Right. And then, yeah, that's when Aunt Becky gets you in and goes to jail for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah. Look at me. I'm a rower. I row.
You didn't live that shit.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Row the hell out of this. So, yeah. Yeah, thankfully that's not a problem in my school. I don't think anybody cheats on the exams to get in there.
So the Colorado Springs or Pueblo Aunt Becky is not
Yeah.
currently incarcerated for greasing palms.
No, I think the university, either one of them, will gladly let you grease palms to get your kid in. So,
But they're soliciting bribes.
well, yeah, it's called the community relations. Yeah, So our alumni relations and stuff. And so the guys who get paid the most in the college anymore are usually the people who do the fundraising. They go out and knock on the doors or ring the numbers of alumni who actually managed to make it. So
I still get calls from CSU.
Oh, my wife gets them from her law school. All of them.
Students that are trying.
Yeah.
I've given a couple of times before.
Oh, no, I do not give
Really?
Well, I was in the oil field. I just was like, yeah, why not? They're like,
sure, money.
yeah. I was like, go ahead, have some.
Just pull more of it out of the ground. Yeah.
Then I was just like, because then they always ask what you're doing, and I tell them what I'm doing. They're like, so how did you use your? Don't use my degree.
I don't use.
It's not even the smallest amount. Wait, what? Yeah.
Oh man, you pop their bubbles so fast when you say something like that to them. I mean, we get students all the time. It's like, wow, you're a professor. What did you get your undergrad in? I'm like, history. So I don't do anything with that. So I make YouTube videos.
Choose wisely, or don't choose it all.
Don't choose it all. Whatever.
Just complete it.
Yeah.
And then figure out what you want to do with life.
Yeah, the last solicitation call I got from the university, and this was the last, this put the end of it, was,
You talk to him like you were on Twitter.
oh, dude, I was pissed. I was like, what do you people want from me? It's like, is everything okay? It's like, no, fuck you. And they're like, what you... It was like, yeah, I was
You need a
like,
hug?
I was like, it's like, I hated you people. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, did you graduate? It's like, yeah. And when I left, I went to the university center, urinated in your sinks, and looked for something to tip over, but I couldn't find it. You know why? Because they held my fucking degree to ransom because of a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They held mine ransom for a ticket too. So
It's just, you guys, I was like, you guys did everything that you could to complicate my life, offered me no guidance whatsoever. It was like, this is a miserable experience. Fuck you, don't call me.
Wow.
removed from list.
Yeah, they got me off the list.
Yeah, no, they still call me all the time, man. So they hound my wife. She gets this nice fancy packet every
they get the
single
curse
year.
I
one.
get it too.
You get the nice fancy one that comes via like courier service or some shit.
Mine's not quite that good.
Yeah,
for sure, but
hers is kind of, it's like, oh, look at this nice book that the school sent you. That's full of all the extremely successful people who make this school possible. Are you one of those? Do you feel like you make as much as like Howard Hamlin right here? So,
I feel like giving some of that back.
yeah.
No, I did not.
No.
Yeah. I did not have a great experience there. I did not like the staff. I did not like the...
I enjoyed my college experience, so I was.
You weren't there.
Well, yeah.
I didn't mind it, and I would say one as you, but there were definitely some things that were asinine about that school. So, counseling was definitely one of them. So, I know. I think I went to 3 sessions the entire time I was there. I was like, well, what should I do? And then realized I was talking to a student that's younger than me.
Yeah.
And just starting her program, and I was like, what do you study? Education, huh? Got it.
Well, counseling for me consisted of, well, you still need to take 310. You need to take.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what I'm asking.
No.
I can solve what I need to take to graduate.
Yeah, I can
Thank
read.
you.
Yeah, I mean, this was before the days where you could go on the online and actually do like
Right.
your fucking map out my degree kind of like thing. You
This
just
is
did it
when
with
they
a
sent
checkbox.
you
Yeah,
the book.
yeah, you got the catalog, the book, and you sat down and you figured it out. And you had every single time you got a course schedule every fall, and you go back and you check off all the things that you had done. Mm-hmm. Which left you with the ones that you had left to take, and then you match those up to the ones in the schedule, and you figure it out yourself, and then use the punch telephone system to register yourself for class.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Or you'd actually go to the registrar's office,
Yeah.
you know, and wait in a line. You remember when they used to post everybody's fucking grades with their social security numbers?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god.
What a naive time that was. The Wailing Wall.
I swear to God, if anybody had any sense of, I mean, that was just like ripe opportunities, was just to go in there and say, well, these are mine. I'm just going to take these sheets of paper.
Yeah, but
This would
nobody
be
was
great.
thinking about that at that time, man.
I'd like to think somebody was.
I hope so, but I remember it took them many, many years where they actually changed your student ID from your social security
Something
number.
else.
Something else,
Yeah.
yeah. So something else. In fact, my school just changed it so that it used to be your student ID or your employee ID was actually the login to our system.
Okay.
So, I get that, all right, but when that's the stuff that's actually like you can verify through outside sources, yeah. So it's like, okay, so I've got everybody's login now. So,
I guess I'm on the honor system not to use this.
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Why would you give me this?
exactly. It was just like all you have to do is take a look at one class roster, and you got everybody's login. And so they finally figured that one out. And they said, "Oh, actually, we're going to make this third ID." No, we're like, okay.
Good thinking.
Yeah,
All right.
whatever. Finally migrated to Office 365 on Outlook. Still doesn't work on my fucking phone. So-
I have always had problems with Office 365 in one way or another.
Yeah.
On the occasions when it was like set up for me, I think it worked fine. But there have been times where that is just the biggest problem in the world, and they end up switching like this, and then they replace your whole computer, and then yeah. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I had such a hard time with that. I don't remember why. This is like the same thing. Me getting that goddamn T&E card from Baker.
I didn't have issues with that.
I know you didn't. I had issues with it, and they screwed it up many times. And that idiot boss of ours was like, "Why can't you get this?" I don't know, buddy. You tell me.
Is that part of your job to solve this problem?
It's like,
Oh no, call solve.
oh yes. So yes, I did call Solve, and I reached the dead center of Pakistan, and I tried to talk to them.
You could only get one out of every 6 words.
God damn it, man! And then
And you're working out in the oil field, so the connection might not be great. So now you're getting like 1 out of every 12 words. Like, you just log into here and do your magic.
and then they'd bark something at you, and they'd say, "Okay, I'm going to mark this ticket resolved." It's like, look, you do you, man. I don't.
yeah.
If me giving up is resolved, then okay, you're good.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I learned a long time ago not to even bother with tickets at my school.
Well,
Yeah.
Generating tickets or like resolving tickets?
Yes. Yeah.
Do students make tickets?
Huh?
Do students make tickets?
Students can make tickets. Yeah, if they're having issues with IT. Seems like our IT department's kind of volunteer force, though. So, kinda like a volunteer firefighter. So,
wow.
you know,
All right.
I think there's like 4 people who do it for the entire campus.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird.
That's
So,
Actually,
the place that I worked that had the stupidest IT was Union Pacific. All right,
So I
so
can believe it.
because they didn't believe in IT yet.
they were getting there. So, but our whole scheduling system, like all the way that you could actually track where cars were and stuff like that, was all written by this guy in the '60s on COBOL,
Oh
and he still fucking worked there.
God!
I remember, yeah, him. There was one time when I was in Omaha for some kind of manager bullshit training, and
Official title.
that's all the training that we did in management. But we're sitting here, and this guy's teaching us how to use the card forwarding system and stuff like that. And we're like, dude, this shit is ancient, man.
Is it like Oregon Trail?
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, it was green screen stuff, man.
Yeah.
You could run it in Windows, but it ran in a window, So, yeah, and everything was like, it was just like the old Saber commands.
Yeah.
Where it was like BT star, that, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
It's just like, this is how somebody just organized these commands in their head. There's not really a system to it or anything like that. And we started bitching about it, and this guy started getting visibly pissed. So, and then he just blurted out, he's like, well, it wasn't a problem when I wrote the program. And we're like, oh, fuck. That's the guy, man. That's the actual guy who actually wrote this shit. It's teaching in the class, man.
Did he have a beard down to his waist?
No, he actually didn't look as old as he probably was. But, it was one of those things where it was like, oh, shit, man. So, and then, like, all of our software packages there were, like, all the Office software was all, like, mishmash of, like, we didn't have, like, Microsoft Office.
Right.
We had, like, fucking WordPerfect and, Lotus 123.
Oh, man. No, I know what you're talking about. I mean, you're talking about the days when, and maybe this is partially still true. There were times where it seemed like, especially when you had programs that were supposed to talk to each other but maybe wouldn't, and it would be like, we have to take this system offline so you can use this but not this. And there were parts of it where it's equal parts computers but equal parts like Santeria. This is all shit from like well, you didn't call IT, you called somebody with like skull grease paint in Haiti. And like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, it'll be on when it comes on.
Yeah, arise, computer.
Like, this sucks, man.
Big funny thing.
Yeah, and I remember being in some places where if you had this was the thing. Okay, this was the stuff I laughed at, and this was probably a UP thing, I bet, as well too, because I guarantee you this is something we had at Baker, where it was you would start with this program because it was the most recent, right? But if this stopped working or there's something that you needed to do, you had to peel it back to the system that it was before.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I didn't see that at
was
UP.
less integrated.
We definitely saw that at the airlines with Sabre and Sabre Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, where you had to go back to native Sabre.
native.
Yeah, every now and then, because it was like, well, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And so if you actually learned how to use native Sabre, then you just booted that up after a while. So, yeah.
Because it was the only thing, it was the base component that talked to all proprietary computer systems that had built on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, there were plenty of places where it was, all you guys did is they would even tell you, we spent $22 million on this computer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is just a GUI for,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, this is just the Windows version of this.
Yep.
Get a college kid
I
to make
remember
an
the
app for
bank
that.
doing that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the bank did that while I was there, briefly while I was there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. I did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had that old school green screen system,
They sure did.
which is basically
I had to
like
walk through
a
that,
fucking ATM. And then, they just slapped this GUI on top of it. So it didn't fundamentally change anything. And then you just run the old one in the background.
Ha!
If you had to,
Yeah.
You were supposed to do everything from here, and if it didn't work, then you were supposed to go back to,
But the old system just worked better, the teller system. So,
There's less shit to fuck up.
well, once you knew the commands, it was like, okay, but all right, here's your stuff. And I have to click through all these fucking menus in order to get to it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got something downstairs that can tell you what that is, but I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was either. I didn't work through
I've got the training manual for
Of all the things you kept that?
You know, it's funny is I needed just a folder. I needed some kind of folder.
Is it balancing a cabinet? Like you have it wedged under one of the legs?
Third leg on your coffee table. Yeah.
This thing's gonna stick around for a lifetime because it's exactly the right thickness.
Dummy, it's load bearing. Right? Yeah, it has to stay. Yeah.
It's a load-bearing binder. Yeah. No. I think I still have some of my airline manuals. Yeah, in fact, I know I do.
Just toss some of the ones that I wrote my own directions for some of the tools I had to operate. I was like, yeah, I'm never going back.
Yep.
Why the hell am I still holding these?
Even if you get $8 a barrel or $8 a gallon gasoline. So, I was actually looking into that this week. I've got a conspiracy theory for you guys.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
run it.
Well, actually, I still, if you listen to the last episode, I owe you guys all a mea culpa about Joe Biden, too.
Oh, yeah, I heard you say
Okay,
that.
all right.
Yeah.
So, he is a creeper.
Yeah.
Right? But he's at the center of this conspiracy theory. So,
Sure, he's got to try anything he can.
so I didn't know the president actually had the authority to be able to shut off oil exports with the stroke of a pen.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. Donald Trump threatened to do it many times, but we didn't do it. Have not done it. And so the conspiracy theory states basically that, all right, we're going to actually try and sanction the hell out of Russia, which we've been doing. Not to the point in time where they're shutting down their energy exports on Germans just quite yet, but I don't know. Maybe that's coming. Did you guys hear anything about that? I don't know.
They've shut them off to other countries, not to Germany yet.
Well, they did it to Finland
Yeah.
and Sweden because they want to go join the NATO's.
Yeah.
So, I guess. So, but not Germany yet. But anyway, so the conspiracy theory kind of goes like this. It said Joe Biden's going to see, all right, that like his fucking party's going to die basically this September.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's going to let them just basically crash on the rocks of inflation. All right. And then he's going to actually use that power to ban oil exports to suppress oil prices in the United States running up to the next election. So he gets to keep the credit. So I don't know. It's not my conspiracy theory, and it's not some whack job that I've heard. It's the two guys that I listen to their podcast, and they like to float out like, you know, seemingly plausible, you know, conspiracy
Boy,
theories.
the world would hate us.
Here's the part of that I hope is actually kind of true. Joe Biden doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, interesting.
So there's another thing about him that I did not know. You know how like Donald Trump was doing all these trade things with China during his last year? Joe Biden doubled down on all of those. And it doesn't make the news. The Chinese have come back repeatedly ever since that thing in Alaska a little while ago. And Joe Biden and like, you know, the whole trade team got humiliated. And so basically he's like, okay, fine. If you don't like that steel tariff, here's 2. So they've been doing that shit in the background, man. So,
Well, all that pales in comparison to the official endorsement of Taiwanese defense.
that was interesting. Yes.
So
That was
on any
very
other given
interesting,
day,
yeah.
it would be like, oh, well, man, you're kind of pushing that button hard. And then this happens, and he says that, and his advisor is like, he said, what? Okay, yeah, I guess we're doing this.
I guess we're doing this, man. So,
And there was some, evidently there was some advance notice because, so you're familiar with a canary, right?
canary in a coal mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the U.S. page that basically says, you know, here's our policy towards this stuff, and it had the policy toward recognizing Taiwan, and essentially this is like one China, and this is on the government page.
Yeah.
And a few days before that,
He came
the
down.
canary came off, where it's like, and people were like, is this an accident? Because as of right
Oh,
now,
really?
yeah,
Oh.
this happened before that.
Is that
So
why they
somebody
asked
knew.
him?
Good question.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, that basically came off, right? So people were wondering, is this not, did somebody, is this missing code, whatever?
Yeah.
And then he came out there and then said that. And
He
I
was
was,
pretty emphatic about it, too.
he was, but his staff was not.
No, his staff,
No, his staff was not, but
he said,
Yeah.
follow the policy. That's all I heard.
I don't know. I think that's kind of how he does things, man. He said, get out next weekend. And the staff's like, what do you mean next weekend? He's like, next weekend. And, despite the disaster and stuff, it happens. And then, later on. There was one other thing that he did that with. What the fuck was it?
It was the evacuation of the Middle
Afghanistan.
East.
That's what I'm talking about. There was another one between now and then.
Where he said about Putin that they need.
Yeah. Where he was a war criminal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the whole staff's like, whoa. And he's like, well, yeah, if you do that, you're a war criminal. So...
It's like, right, I know, we weren't ready.
We don't say that.
Yeah.
We all know it, and it's all the wink, wink. We got it.
Yeah, but it was funny because the reporter asked him the question twice.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. It's like,
Yeah,
Are you sure about
right.
this?
Yeah, it's like, so the United States is willing to commit to the defense of Taiwan. He's like, yes, and then. So you're saying?
I think you hear heavy pen. Yeah.
So audible gasp in the transcript.
That guy wrote 3 exclamation marks. A lot of people running out to the hallway to make phone calls.
Yeah.
We are recording this, right?
Yeah.
So, well, actually, I watched using the same kind of analysis that they talked about with. Did you end up looking up the polymatter guy like I told you about?
The polymatter guy.
Yeah, this is a guy that does exquisite analysis of different global things, especially with China, and he broke down the China invasion of Taiwan.
I don't know if it was him, but I did see a very good video on that.
Okay, did it break down the cost of doing so?
It was like 1 million guys before they even get to the shore.
And this had to do with geography. It
Yeah.
had you probably watched that one. Yeah. Where the cost of doing this is exorbitant.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where they said, let's use Russia as an example, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, this is the trouble they're having on adjoining land.
Yeah, it's connected by land. Yeah. So.
And it said, these people are being wrecked because these people are able to attack from things that aren't roads. and they're like, they have to line up their weaponry in columns. Now, take that difficulty, add water.
Lots of water.
Lots of water. Add.
It's what, like 60 miles of open water?
This was the thing. This was the thing I didn't even think of. They were like, there are only like 6 landing positions here. Mm-hmm. Okay. This one doesn't really count. Mm-mm. This one is a beach, and there are mountains right next to it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when they said it would take a minimum of like, did they say like 60 days? Or like 90 days.
It was something like that. Yeah, I didn't know about the Taiwanese choke points, but it was really
Nor
good
did
that
I.
they actually pointed that out.
Yeah, this was fascinating, and that's where they said they have like 2 million active troops. It's like it would take at least 1 million of them
Just to get across the sea.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there solves your hunger shortage
Hunger shortage.
or the hunger problem. Aren't they starving over there?
In China.
Yeah.
Well,
No, not yet.
well, they are in the lockdown cities where people are getting,
Oh,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and that shit is still going on, man. So,
supposedly Shanghai is going to be easing,
the ADV guys shut that one down the other day. So they were pretty...
according to Shanghai.
Right, according to Shanghai, yeah. So, yeah, they had a whole segment because they had an emergency show on like Tuesday.
About the Uyghur genocide,
Yeah, about
and
the Uyghur genocide.
the release data, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it was the previous show.
It was.
It might have been
yeah.
the previous show
Yeah.
they were talking about that, but then they did a couple follow-ups on that one, and I've seen it in a couple other venues as well, where it's like, okay, so Shanghai says they're easing restrictions, but it's
Yeah.
on a building-by-building basis. And each one of those buildings, if anybody tests positive, that one's on lockdown again for at least 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. And the way that they're actually like allowing people to go out, they allow people who are like, like your leader of your floor or something,
Right.
to run to the grocery store for 2 hours for everybody. It's got to make it back within 2 hours.
What happens if you don't make it back?
I don't know. They shoot you.
I do not want that job.
I don't know.
Well, it does come with prestige.
Yeah,
You get a paper crown.
yeah, that's right. Now you get dibs on the M&M.
Well,
Oh, that's true. There you go.
they were testing the bricks for COVID.
Yeah,
What?
they were testing lettuce.
What?
Yeah, so explain to me why it doesn't work, Mr. Microbiologist. It doesn't have mucous membranes in my lettuce. How about yours?
I guess I don't officially know how long COVID can live on different surfaces. I haven't actually.
I'll bet you it can live longer on lettuce than bricks.
Yeah,
Because they're trying to blame anything that's foreign.
Yeah.
what bricks that people are throwing into the country?
These were like imported stones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
They
okay. All right,
actually
all right.
do COVID tests on bricks.
Yeah, no, they blame everything on
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
foreigners.
Wow.
Remember,
Dude.
for the longest time, I was afraid of these people.
Yeah, I'm not.
Heard that
still
shit for
am.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
I still am in some ways because there's a certain amount of work you can get done with well-organized idiocy, but at the same time, they are not the threat that I once thought they were.
No, but they are. I saw something. I think it was Hoover Institute talking about China and its future military, and they are building a nuclear force to rival that of Russia.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're fully ICBM capable at this point in time. Yeah. So, so that would worry me because I don't think the Russians would pull the trigger on anything like that, but I don't know about the Chinese.
I don't think they would either.
I would hope not, man. So I would hope not. But, there's a piece of it that CCP just really doesn't fundamentally care about the Chinese. So, it's kind of weird.
No,
So if you scraped off 9 million people off, a city, I don't think they would really give a shit.
no.
Them to fucking complain. So,
Look, this is the problem with it is they can build in this, and we can clearly see that they don't have the resources to be wasting on that.
Yeah.
Right? But they're going to do it anyway, right?
They are.
Because this is some sort of show of power, and as we've learned, the show of power is about the internal show of power. They don't care what the rest of the world thinks about you. It's about demonstrating this to the people that are inside.
right.
It's just not going to work out, man.
I don't think so
that you
either.
do stuff on that, the more that you are begging for internal collapse, and it's a small.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. The fall of the Soviet, Union. You can point to all the things that were leading up to this, but ultimately it all hinges on one mistake where they say, "Oh, we're going to allow you to go, across the wall to visit your family this weekend."
Yeah, yeah.
But nobody heard this weekend.
Yeah. Well, that was the Berlin Wall.
Yep.
Soviet Union was a couple of years later.
But no, that was the
It's kind of what started
This was
it.
the last
Yeah.
domino, and from there on out, the thing just fell apart.
I don't know. There's a guy that I've been listening to a little bit lately, and he is really, really bearish on China. So, I mean, like worse than we are. So,
Oh.
I mean, yeah, no, I was kind of impressed. He says China's not going to be a state within 5 years. So, yeah.
Wow.
Some days I think that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a little bit much, but at the same point in time, he's a little bit bearish on this one. He pointed out something really interesting about that. He's like, the CCP will not go the same way that the Soviet Union went because there's no Gorbachev in the CCP.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
so there's this missing link
Right.
in there, so it'll be completely different. However, that actually happens someday. It's kind of an interesting analysis. Actually, he's got a really mean war plan that if China decided to invade Taiwan, he's like, so the U.S. wouldn't even have to act on this. He's like, we just sold the Australians a bunch of submarines and cruise missiles,
Oh.
of which all of them can reach, basically the Straits of Malacca, which is around Singapore, which is where 85% of China's energy imports come from. Because as we have stopped dealing with the Saudis almost entirely, yeah. So somebody else has been buying all that oil.
They've been buying some Russian stuff lately too.
Yeah, but he has an interesting point about that. Now, let me ask you guys about this because you guys are drillers on this one. He said that all of the oil wells in eastern Siberia are really good, they're really deep, and they're really sparse. And the thing is, the Russians don't have the skill to run them. And now all the Schlumberger guys, all the Baker guys, all the Halliburton guys fucking bolted out of Russia. So
I'd imagine they would.
well, it was voluntary too. So there were no sanctions put on those individual companies. But those companies, all three of them by themselves, said, no, we're not going to do business in Russia anymore, and brought all their guys home. And so the Russians don't know how to run those fucking oil fields.
No, they don't.
Is that true?
It absolutely is. The guy that I trained, the guy that taught in Houston, he was a Russian guy.
Yeah.
Right? And that is exactly what he said.
Yeah. So they don't know how to do it. And so, yeah.
They're not the only ones.
Yeah.
They're not the only ones. There are places, particularly in the Middle East,
Yeah.
right, where the equipment and the technology they use to do this is only usable because the shit is so close and easy to get to there, right? Whereas the whole idea of going a mile into the ground underneath, your neighbor's house horizontally.
Maybe in another state.
No, that was a severe
Burns
no.
diagonal drilling.
That there is something known as the hard line. You hit the hard line, everybody has to go home. And if you go into another state, I guarantee you're past police. So, as far as the actual technology, it was just, well, you guys don't have to go far. This is one of the things where, again, there's always this talk of, and they used to talk about this a lot when we were younger. This was the scare at the time was, at our current rate, there will be no more oil.
Oh, peak oil? Yeah, that turned out to be completely false.
Yeah, and then they pushed it to 2004, and then they pushed it to like 2011.
I remember teaching that shit. So, yeah.
You mean just like the tipping point for when like our carbon footprint is going to be too much that we can no longer recover?
Yeah. I remember teaching that too. But no, I remember teaching peak oil. And so the math behind it was solid until fracking. So then it was like, okay, no, that's not going to, now there's tons.
Well,
and it's fucking everywhere too. So,
and it wasn't just that there's everywhere. It was also, there's two components to this where it is, not only is it everywhere, a lot of it is also, well, you guys have more beneath what you have already.
Yeah.
Because you drill like idiots because it's easy.
Yeah.
Right. And that's fine. Right. And then the other part of this was.
This is the Saudis.
And
in Texas, things like that.
Oh,
like, where you just used to just poke a hole. Oil
the clamp-it days. The other part of this was the piece of Earth's history that we forget is this is biomaterial that is degrading over time, and there was more of it degrading and becoming oil. Right? Not where it's like, oh, this is constantly renewing, but it was like, holy shit. Yeah, it would have been out if that were it, except for now there's new pockets of this.
No, I understand that. It was just they didn't have all the information when they were making a hypothesis. But then, like, there are a bunch of guys
wanted to make the hypothesis.
Well, and see, that's the guy who actually proposed that was not one of those dudes. Okay, there were a bunch of other guys who bandwagoned that one afterwards, and even after he detached himself from it and said, "No, it's not going to work like this anymore." They were like, "Oh, we can row this thing ourselves."
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, even in Wyoming, like, if you don't have the right guys running it, like, you'll just demolish your tools, like, and. You might get there eventually, but you're going to pay a fortune.
Yeah. So that was this guy's point about Russia in particular is that, yes, it's energy rich, but the areas where they can actually tap the energy in, first of all, they're not linked easily to China. Okay, so most of them are actually down in the Caucasus, all right? All of those are dependent upon European customers, okay? Some of them are actually, like, there's a couple trapped countries in there, like Kazakhstan, who has wells that, but part of it is they have a deal where they actually have access through a pipeline to the Black Sea. So, and, if that gets sanctioned, then that whole country's out of the business too.
Right.
So at that point in time. And then he's pointing out, is like, look at all these pipelines. Almost all of them go through Ukraine. Right. Well, it's only a matter of time before the Ukrainians themselves or a stray Russian artillery shell knocks this out. So, and then, so he said if China ever got uppity about anything, he's like, well, if they move on Taiwan, so basically all the nations along this tanker line include India, Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, the Philippines, all these people who just don't like to, they know that China's bad news neighbor.
Yeah.
And so all you have to do is turn those ships back to the Persian Gulf. China runs out of gasoline in a month. Trucks stop moving within 2. Famine starts within 6. So, and it was like, oh my God, their whole economy, they are more dependent on the Saudis than we are.
Yes.
We are not dependent on the Saudis at all anymore.
Guys, we aren't, and on top of that, this is with this president canceling leases.
Yeah. And I know, and that's the point. It's like, and goes back to that conspiracy theory. He's like, well, okay, if I have the ability to turn the tap on and off, and if all the oil stays domestically, okay, ta-da, I can fix the shit.
Everybody's happy because prices are back down. But
I think
for us,
part of it is just it's going to be $6 a gallon.
It is.
It's not going to go down, and that's just like I had seen more since we did a podcast last week. I had seen more and more shit about this where people are looking at the labor market and they're just saying, man, it ain't what it used to be. All right, so it is so fucking tight that even if we do have a recession, nobody in the middle class, or like maybe not so much the people in the upper class and the lower class, they'll feel it because it'll hurt their investments, or they'll be paying $3 more for a gallon of gas than they're used to. All right, but everybody in the middle, they're not even gonna notice this fucking recession, okay? Because everybody's like done a little bit of shuffling on the job market. You're in a place where you're okay with it. So if you need to go back into a workforce, say you brought, like you went from a 2 person working household to a single income household, your spouse can go back into the market and get a job really easily. Your house is worth a fuck ton of money. So
it's crashing.
I don't know how much it's going to crash though. I would expect
I just we had dinner with one of my girlfriend's friends that's a realtor, and they saw a dream house that they wanted.
Yeah.
And she was going to go to Africa for 2 weeks. And so she's just like, I love this house, but I'm going to Africa, so I can't do all the paperwork, all this kind of stuff. And they're like, it's okay, we won't put it on the market for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And by the time she got back, she's like, okay, we're going to put an offer on, and then take 100,000 off.
Okay.
Christ.
That's what she's like. The market is crashing that fast.
What kind of house was it? So, because there's this band, all right, that is definitely going to take a beating, and that's those houses that are between like about 750 and like 2 million. So there is way too much.
Okay.
There are way too many of those in
there.
Is
going for,
but like houses like this, all right, or like yours, where it's just a house.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking McMansion. All right, those are worth so much money, and they're just not going to really crash that hard. So, like I would expect there's got to be some adjustment into it, but I'd be shocked if it went more than about 10 or 15%. I'd be really surprised if it went much more than that.
10 or 15% is actually quite a bit.
It is, okay, but not considering how much they've appreciated over the last 2 years. So,
right. Yeah. If you're talking about like a balance.
Right.
Yeah, I totally understand that. The full details of why and how is a little bit of a mystery to me.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be like a 2008 crash where your house goes down by like 50% in value. So, because that did happen,
To some folks.
It almost happened to me. I sold in 2006. That house did not get to the point in time where I sold it, because I sold that in 2006. I don't think it recovered back to that point in time until about 2015. So, yeah. So, but it was a townhouse, all right? So that's a little bit different,
right?
All right? So, yeah, I think there's some pain points in the market. I don't think it's anything on the bottom, like 2/3 of the market that's actually going to have much of a hit. Because there are just legions. I still know people out there desperate to find a fucking house.
There's a lot less showings. Like it's she would go from 30 showings in a day down to like 2 now.
Yeah, well, and I would too. If I was actually in the market for a house, I'd chill out for about 6 months here and see where it bottoms out, because I'm not going to pay. I don't want to buy a house on the dip.
Yeah.
If it's still going to go down, and so that makes perfect fucking sense. So just from a buyer perspective,
and it's the summer months, which is usually when
it's the worst.
It's worst, and and like
yeah,
it in 1 month's time, it just
No, but there are, yeah, and again, that's going to depend on the price point of the house.
Right.
So, because, yeah, there were times where even I, fantasized about going and buying a house down, like, near the Broadmoor. Okay, for like
Right. I remember
850,000.
that.
Yeah, we got really close to thinking about doing that. Because I was like, I could sell my house and then flip it in a new one and basically be in the same equity position, but in a house that's actually going to appreciate greater. But then I started looking at it, I was like, this house ain't that much fancier than mine.
Where it is.
It's just where it is. Yeah. And I was like, nah, let's not do that, because I know that, like this whole neighborhood, this whole side of town, they're building a fucking hospital over here now. I saw that. So
Where?
Right over here on Powers. So you're gonna drive by it on the way home.
Oh, that's a
it's
hospital?
gonna be a hospital. Yeah, it's gonna be it's not gonna be like a full residential hospital, but it's gonna have a full emergency room in it.
Oh,
And then
okay.
there was something else
I
that
was
was
wondering
special.
what that
about
was.
it was like
the Krispy Kreme is open.
Hospital.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now, no, I would not be buying a luxury home. So for sure. But yeah, if I was in the market and looking for a house to start a family or something like that, I'd wait about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Maybe November, So, and then absolutely jump on whatever, because 10 to 15%, that's about as good as you're going to get. So before it starts going bananas again. So.
And she said people were going 50,000 over
Yeah.
the listing price, to now they're coming in like 10 to 15 under.
Yeah.
And that's in like a 2-week stretch. Just like,
Well, I think, inflation's got a lot of people freaked. So, yeah. I think it's got a lot of people kind of freaked out, but like milk is still $3 a gallon. So I just bought some.
like 362, isn't it?
Not at King Soopers, man.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Mine is $2.89.
See?
Really?
Look at that. Yeah.
Well, that is the bottom shelf Safeway
Yeah.
milk.
That's usually the local stuff. That's good.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But the mid-grade and premium are closer to $4.
Okay. Yeah, I don't buy those. So,
Well, if I had my choice, okay, and I weren't trying to live a little bit more frugally, I would get the Land O'Lakes stuff, because that is the finest milk
Yeah. That
that
stuff's
you will
silky.
buy. It is silky.
Yeah.
Yes.
That stuff is
Land
silky.
O'Lakes milk?
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is. It is right there in the same family as the Royal Crest stuff that you get delivered.
Oh, man. I missed that.
I never could tell a difference in the taste. So
Oh, fuck. I used to get that. I forgot about that.
It is the finest milk that you will get.
Yeah.
we had that for years, and I never noticed the difference.
Oh, no. I love their milk. They used to have awesome cheese, too. So
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, they had really good
Sure did.
cheese.
But I ended up I never had the order right. I either had too little milk or I had too much milk.
Yeah.
Forget to
And-
tell them not to deliver the next week, and now you have
Yeah.
double it.
Yeah.
I
Because
remember my cooler got nasty after a while.
Oh yeah.
Hideous, man.
it's gross.
It
Yeah.
had like 4 of those order forms that had dissolved into like a mache on the bottom. Yeah.
Your wife's just kind of like, could you take the piñata out of our milk crate,
They
please?
used to have really good butter too. Come think of it.
They did. Yeah. And it's just, it wasn't that much more expensive, but I do not like wasting milk.
Yeah. I
And
get mad when my daughter does that.
yeah, just don't hit her with your ring hand.
No, I taught her, but when her cousins come over, I'll come back and there'll be like 2 or 3 half-empty milk glasses around the house. And it's just like, this is a crime against humanity. War criminals.
Well, William will leave his glass of milk out, and I'm like, time to have him learn his lesson. And so he sits out there the entire day while he goes to school, and I comes back, and I'm like, left your milk out, bottoms up. He's like,
Oh, gross, man.
just like,
He tips it back.
You gotta be
of
kidding
all
me,
the
man.
stuff that he won't eat,
It would like instantaneously curdle my stomach.
I thought that was going to be the ultimate punishment for him, and he was just like, that's fine. I'm like, there's no way it's fine. It's
No, it's
impossible.
disgusting.
I'm like, dude, all of your taste buds or whatever this whole thing about whatever it is you don't like, it's got nothing to do with taste
I know.
or texture.
And this is your kid for crying out loud. So like tears are gonna come out of his eyes when it's like this tater tot was cooked in a place where almonds existed, you know, and
It's like you haven't tasted it yet. You can't be throwing up.
and you're like, but you're drinking milk that has gone on to the second phase of existence.
Where you smell it and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, and he drank it. And I was like, I don't even know how to explain this now. Wait.
You know, it's weird. As I do like warm milk. I don't mind if it's been out for a while because it does take on a different flavor once it warms up a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a point.
There's a point where it gets sour.
Yeah, where you're
Yeah.
like, well, okay.
I don't know
You're
what that is.
going to be sour cream.
Shortly.
Yeah, and then in another 3 days you'll be buttermilk, and then
Right.
this is not my theory. I'm
Then I can
passing
make
this
waffles.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about, man. So, I don't know. Like, I like warm milk every now and then, but that old adage where it's like what you should drink before you go to sleep is absolutely true for me. It'll make me sleepy. Even if it's like I just got up and had 2 cups of coffee. If I drink some more milk after that, it's like, oh man, I need a nap. You know?
I gotta. My cure for insomnia at this point is whether or not I have something that needs to get done.
Oh, okay.
So if I wake up and it's like, all right, well, I need this done in 4 hours. Well, how long does it take? 2 hours? Well, I need to go to sleep for another 2 hours. Yeah, I say
Oh
like
man, that totally doesn't work for me. But I respect you for that.
I
it's
totally
so
do that,
stupid.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but 2 hours is kind of like a buffer. That's me giving myself a little bit of breathing room. I can really get this done in.
It's like charging your
An
phone
hour.
for 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so do you, when you sleep that 2 hours, do you get, like, are you full asleep and your alarm totally just wakes you up? Or are you, like, antsy that whole 2 hours going on?
Not antsy at all.
No, that's
not,
me.
not,
That's me.
not antsy. As a matter of fact, it's just I don't want to wake up at that point because at that point, what I'm getting is it's like powdered ting. It's like made from concentrate. This is like sleep that is like hasn't been cut with. Oh no! What is that shit? What
It's
is
like
that?
pure cocaine. Yeah.
No, I don't want to talk about cocaine, but like, what was that shit that was it Five Alive? That fucking weird orange juice that came in the frozen container.
5 Alive.
Yeah, that it looked like a biscuit tin, but there was like frozen orange juice in there, and
Oh, you
Yeah.
can get that Minute Maid. You know,
Okay,
that was all
okay.
kinds of
All
shit.
sorts of
Yeah,
things.
but
all
I know
right,
what you're talking
that
about.
crap. But
It
like,
still exists.
That
doesn't
stuff
it?
is great.
well, you wouldn't like crack it open and just like take a bite.
No, it's concentrated.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you can only get like one bite, and then
Like,
you gotta
suck your
wait a
eyes
day,
out,
and
man.
then do
Yeah.
another bite. And
But that's what I'm saying. That's the kind
Yeah.
of sleep that happens when you have work hanging over you.
Yeah.
At least for me.
No, see, my whole thing about sleep anymore is I've kind of cured myself of like almost all my bouts of insomnia.
I'm way better now, but yeah.
I am way better now, and it's because I get up when I want to. So
Yeah.
I have completely adjusted my entire schedule where it's just like, no, I'm not getting up just because the neighbor kid's ringing the door. You know, so I leave. No, I don't even call it. I don't even touch
he's got the trap door on the stairs. Dang.
He's a cat guy, but he releases the hounds
releases
pretty well.
the hounds. Yeah. So, but like just even work wise and stuff, man. I mean, like the last year, I think actually the last 2, it's been like, oh well, we need you for an 8 o'clock class. Like, nope, not going to do it. So I was like, give it to somebody else or fire me, whatever. So. You know, just because it's like I stress out so much, and even on certain days where like I know that there's something going on and I have to like go to the dentist or something at 9 o'clock tomorrow, I'll call them and say, now what do you got in the afternoon later? You know, just because I know that I'm not going to sleep that night thinking that I have to get up the next morning. So, but on all other days, like I just go to bed when I'm tired and I get up when I'm done, and it's great. So,
The worst days for me now are I'll work all night, and then if I have the kids and they're going to school, I get off at 6. They start waking up at 6:30.
yeah.
So it's just like, well, I'm not sleeping yet. And then by the time I get them to school and everything else, it's like 8:30. And I'm like, God, I have to get them at 3. And I already feel like I got to get some stuff done during the day. All right, I'm going to go to sleep. And it's like 2 hours in, and I'm like, okay, I got to get up. And I'm like, oh, I slept 2 hours. Oh, man.
That's not sustainable.
I'd be
man.
like, this is not happening. It was like, all right, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, they'd be like, kids, you guys better learn how to use the dumpster.
Well, the other
Here's the
Burn
key.
down the house.
Figure it out.
Yeah. The bus starts.
Bus.
The bus
Yeah.
is right over there. Yeah, lock the door on your way out.
He will
Don't
be taking
bother
the
your
bus
father.
next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So will my daughter. So.
You just go to your children and say, all right, this is a chain. This is our house key. Wear it around your neck. Mm-hmm. Turn it in the doorknob when you want to come inside. Don't make noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't function that way.
William, that's how I would want my kids to behave on a perfectly normal, everybody's well-rested day.
Yeah.
Like, come in, stop slamming my goddamn doors, okay, close it gently, go to your room, put your headphones on. You may come downstairs after all of your homework is done and you've observed a minimum of 1 hour of quiet time.
Oh, my God.
Then we'll have dinner.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like. Yeah, this is one of your educational gulags. bro.
Remember, we dress.
This is
So,
how
Right.
people-
Yeah. It's
how people
dinner.
snap.
Yeah.
And
Put your sweater on. Yeah. Just see your kid, Papa Jeff.
yeah,
Can I please have?
get out.
Sir?
Couldn't wait. Copy 20.
1, 2,
quietly.
Greek. And a fair. I don't even know if that's right. So, squealy line. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you'd permit. I would say like from like 6:30 would be television time or family time or something like that. And
You get a choice. You either have an hour and a half of TV or choose your family.
well, it doesn't have to be me. Like you can leave, right? If the neighbors are having more fun than me, then by all means, right? As long as the homework is done, go. I don't believe in set bedtime. I guess I would be lenient in the evening. It's like, all right, well, after you've done eating, come home when you're done.
Come on, what you're
Yeah, because
How
I don't.
old are these kids?
Yeah, 7. I don't really care. That doesn't matter to me. It really wouldn't. It'd be like, oh, no one has to wake up in the morning. Yeah, I mean, you've taken that attitude.
Yeah.
So if the neighbors are cool with you hanging out till 11, that's fine.
I have a time limit on them during school years.
For what?
For when they got to go to bed. I don't give
Oh.
them a full free reign.
Yeah, we've never been really good about that, and my daughter takes advantage of it. And then she complains all the next day about being tired and stuff, and it's like, go to bed earlier. So it's like, I've used this argument on myself so many times that I don't even really mean it anymore. It's just like, well, fine, you're tired. Not my problem.
You gotta live with it.
You figure it out.
Well, we really have learned a lot from my technician over there at Goodyear.
Not my problem.
Shit,
Yeah.
that is. I can't tell you how much of my life has been changed by that guy.
So much
Who
easier.
told me about my Tumblr, and he was right.
Yeah.
He was fucking right.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. It's a well, this is a you problem, not a me problem.
Right. Yeah. Not my problem.
It'll never cross over.
Yeah.
It can't.
Right, and it won't stop until you do something about it. Yeah. So, no, I've gotten that way with her in some respects. It's like, well, all right, you figure it out. All right, you're smart. So, Eventually, you're going to put two and two together, or you won't, and you'll just be miserable, and not my problem.
It's just cause and effect stuff. It's like my stomach hurts. Like, well, that's a mile-high stack of Reese's wrappers.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
know?
like, how many M&Ms can you eat in a
Right.
sitting? You know?
It's like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally just did this with Livy yesterday.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
My stomach hurts. I'm like, well, you had cake, and then you had a shake, and then because we had food first, and then we went out afterwards to the Red Robin, and nobody was really hungry, so it's like, all right, dessert, and you're gonna choose a drink with a shake, and then you're gonna eat the candy that they gave you as a gift, and then I was like,
Yeah, this makes perfect sense.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You have to learn to say no, and if you don't, your stomach hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel terrible right now. I'm sorry.
Right.
I hope it goes away, but drink some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dilute that sugar some.
Uh-huh.
And go lay down.
It happens to all of us. This is what we gotta learn. It's all
I
right.
get it. Those are the tastiest things on the planet. You gotta say no sometime.
I know. I mean, that applies to so many things. It's like, well, I sure do miss smoking. That was a problem. It was like, but when it was time to quit, I didn't like campaign for like Come and Go and like Walgreens to not be able to sell cigarettes anymore. It's like
Yeah,
they're
it's the
gonna
world's
be there.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to solve it for me.
Because you're not going to believe it, but evidently there are people in this world that can go out there and have like one cigarette like a week.
I imagine that with drinking.
And I can't
Can't do it.
I just can't picture it.
Nope.
Like I
I
tried
would
that.
like to picture it. It would
It'd
be
sweet.
cool,
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
but that don't work with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, I was like, well, I'll just have one cigarette a
I can
day.
totally do this.
That didn't. That lasted 3 days.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
I think 3 days was about how long I lasted too, and I was like, no, I can manage a drink.
A drink a day.
And then the next day I was like, no, well, I'm not even like drunk, so this is fine.
Right.
The next day, it's like, oh, I'm drunk. All right, that's how it works, huh?
And yeah, it starts with nerds and bottle caps. And, I don't know. What else? Your daughter doesn't eat almond joys, I don't imagine.
No, I don't really see all. God, they even get. I think there was one almond joy between both the kids' Halloween candy this year.
Yeah, they're kind of rare. Kind of rare.
So yeah,
They don't come in the little packs.
The
You know, the variety
Yeah,
pack
that's
that you got
true.
like 6 different
The
types.
blue and the red.
I don't even know, man. The
Well,
ones...
almond joy was blue and Mounds was red.
No, you don't see those.
Yeah, those-
yeah.
Wow.
I think those are for like if grandparents trick or treated.
Right. Yeah.
They would have that bag out.
Yeah. Got you some Werther's originals.
Yeah, I was gonna say that reeks of those Brocks.
Rocks. Oh, I remember those, man. So, yeah.
The only worst thing that could happen is you dump out your bag and there's a whole bunch of like free floating candy corn.
Yeah.
It's like, what dickhead just grabbed 2 handfuls of this instead of just like, hey kids, get after it.
Just bring them out like chicken feet.
Pull them out of the lawn. They're fine.
Oh my god. Yeah, or those little pumpkins. Yeah, that would be.
Those are deceptively delicious. So,
But they're just
pure
candy
sugar.
corn.
Yeah, I know.
But
So-
because they're pumpkin shaped, I don't know why they taste better. They just
Well, it's just
thicker,
beefier.
yeah.
It's bulkier.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
get as hard and crunchy because it doesn't get as bad as fast.
Yeah, candy corn's always got
Oh.
the stabby end.
Yeah.
You know? It's just not quite right.
Yeah, there's those. I remember one year I did find some loose circus peanuts.
Oh, I'm not
that,
seeing a
yeah,
circus peanut.
that's disturbing.
I didn't even know they made that. I haven't seen that
We did.
anywhere.
I got some like a couple of years back.
Where did you go to? Like
Oh, this is a
the
gas station.
Lakeside Amusement Park?
I did not go to the Lakeside Amusement Park. I will say that no, I got them right over there.
Huh.
At the baseball stadium?
No, that gas station, like right over there.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
I used to know the guy. I knew the guy who used to own that. So
I think it's changed hands now.
it has. No, he sold it like 3 years ago. So
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was one of the regulars at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
But circus peanuts, you can eat one, and then the taste and texture catch up to you by peanut number 2.
I don't think I even know what they taste like.
What do you mean by circus peanut? You're just talking about roasted peanuts?
No, they're the
They're
poofy.
big, they're poofy, they're not marshmallow, but they're
Oh,
orange.
okay, they're pink. Yeah.
Well, they're orange.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
like.
They're really muted, like in terms of
Well, they are, but the muted flavor is still loud. It's
Yeah.
still imposing.
Yeah. No.
been so long. I know I had to have tasted it back then.
You didn't like it.
I know I didn't
No,
like it, so I know
yeah.
it's been so long.
I don't know, man. It's been a long time since I've like tasted like candy,
Like
in gen-
kids'
yeah,
candy.
like kids
Oh, I go
candy.
through
yeah.
all their stuff.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so like, since the last couple of years when Kat's brought home like extra stuff from trick or treating, you know, I'll kind of pick through it, but it's like, oh, okay, here's the Three Musketeers. I hate this, you know. And it'll like, man, there's a lot of Jolly Ranchers in here. Nah, I'm just not it. Yeah, I can't do it. Maybe I'll grab a watermelon one, and you know,
Oh,
just
God,
take a little walk
And
down
nurse it
memory
for a
lane.
while, yeah.
I fight
Yeah.
Libby for the boxes of nerds.
You know, last time Kat brought me a box of Nerds, and it was one of the big ones with the 2 holes in it.
Oh yeah.
And I only got about halfway through one side, and I was like, my tummy hurts.
I would think that at this point, I would enjoy it. Well, obviously, I don't have children, but
Yeah.
like, I would be so thrilled if you look through there and you would just find one of the like sophisticated chocolates. Like, this is a score bar.
Right.
This is,
These little Dove chocolates or whatever.
yeah, I wouldn't mind that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
There, only in North Dakota, there was this candy that I found in their grocery store. Well, not the grocery store, but their gas stations. They were called Twin Bing.
Never heard of it.
I'll get my hands on some.
Okay.
All right. I ended up enjoying these quite a bit. But then I realized that this may be a me thing. Because any candy that's good enough should reach other states but one.
The
Yeah.
least amount of people in it.
Yeah. Kind of like Wyoming Red Bull. Yeah. So,
Yeah, evidently that is localized to that state.
that's interesting.
You might not like it. It does have a, you know, it's just kind of cherry, but it's got chocolate and like.
It's like Swedish Fish or something like that.
Swedish Fish are just, they're there.
Yeah, they're like so overrated, man. So
They are.
Yeah.
It's like any kind of like gummy candy or,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, my daughter's hooked on the trolleys lately. Those are so fucking sour. So
They are.
they are
Yeah.
like lethally sour.
Really?
Oh yeah. Have you had them?
Not. I don't think so.
Oh,
I've
they're just
seen 'em,
basically
but
gummy worms,
worms,
man. Yeah. So yeah, there's nothing
That's
really.
what I
all that
thought they
different.
were, so I didn't really eat them. So I didn't know that they
Yeah.
were sour.
They're very, very sour. They're like Sour Patch Kid sour.
Oh,
So
yeah, we went through one of the giant bags.
oh my god, that would make me barf. So it's just
Well-
there's certain like super tart stuff. It's just like so bad on my stomach anymore, man.
The magic one that we go through, like Livy and I would go through in a day if we have them. So I just don't buy them anymore. But they're like jelly beans coated in nerds.
Oh my god.
Oh. Like the perfect combination of softness with crunch with such sugary. Oh my god, we'd eat so many, and it's like, it's wearing a hole in my cheek.
Yeah,
I gotta
exactly.
stop.
Yeah.
I have to stop, but I gotta have one more.
Yeah.
There's the other side of the cheeks.
Yeah, you better just, you know, even it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
Who
you're
needs to
gonna burn a
actually
hole in
chew
one.
real
Yeah.
food?
Yeah.
I've gotten simpler in my candy. So, I mean, like Costco, I get you get this big bag of Baker's chocolate chips.
I just eat those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just a handful of them every now and then. If I need a little chocolate kick or something like that. We've always got like M&Ms in my house too, because both my wife and my daughter love them. So.
Well, I have to give all the candy to the children, so I've always got an assortment.
Yeah, no, I don't let the neighborhood kids in my house. So,
Oh my god!
yeah. I mean, I've let them in a couple times, man, but it's just like the last time, this was just the other day. Yeah, it was cold last week.
Yeah,
okay.
11 inches of snow.
That's right. I fucking forgot about that already.
I didn't know. I went to bed, and so okay, that was one of the nights that. So it didn't start snowing in the evening. But
Yeah.
it kind of got cold because it was like 76 degrees out
crazy.
in the day.
Yeah.
So I took the dog up, and because it was so warm, I just went out there like, okay, great. And I'm up there in shorts and all this other stuff. I was like, man, this air is chilly. Why don't we go ahead and hurry this one up? So I, kind of hustled around, brought the dog home. I guess whatever, connection to the force that dogs have, she's like, I know something's coming. And she just snuggled up in my armpit. I was like, okay, no worries. And then I woke up and the next day I go outside and all of my trees look like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because the snow is so wet that
Yeah. That was last Friday, wasn't it? Saturday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
You know what? That makes sense because it was the fucking air pressure that jacked up my fucking ear.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
that actually makes perfect sense
Yeah.
now that I think about it. I didn't thought, yeah. So, 'cause that's usually the only time I get earaches is when you have a real big change. And I didn't even think about that. So,
I wouldn't have either.
yeah.
But yeah, that just I'm not shitting you. I had most of my windows open because
It was scalding hot the day before. Like,
Well, yeah, and that's when the neighbor kids were running around my neighborhood, and Kat let them in the house, and then I'm downstairs, doing dad stuff. So get out, and then I hear the door they're like right overhead on me. Run in, slam the door, run out, do something in the yard, run back in the house, slam the door. Run around upstairs, slam the door, and then I come upstairs and it's like 4 or 5 glasses of like various liquids.
5 Alive.
No, yeah.
does each slam just like send you like?
No, but it's just kind of like it's not that bad. It's just like it's like so my dad, like that it's almost painful for me to admit, but I'm also a little proud of my dad too. On this one, because he wasn't like, just get out, kind of thing. He was like in or out.
Right.
All right,
And then after one more, it's like in or out. One last try.
Well, the last answer was out.
The last answer is usually out. And so the last 2 days, since all the neighborhood kids are all out of school now, so, apparently all the other neighbors don't like having all the boys in their house either. Kat's asked me 2 days, Daddy, can the boys come in? I'm like, no. So I was like, man, I got a new answer for that. I was like, is it raining? And then it's like, no. Well, then no. It's a nice day.
I make them earn the time. I tell them they need to go outside, play for a little while, and then after you've done enough time, then by all means, come on. But
yeah. Well, and I know why they want to come in. It's because Kat's got a lot of cool toys.
yeah,
So yeah. So
Yes.
he's got all the Legos in the neighborhood. So, but the last time where the boys actually were in a room, she was so upset afterwards because they just
destroyed
ransacked
everything.
it. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. You want some wrenches? Give me some wrenches.
Did that happen?
Huh?
Did that happen?
I don't know. I was downstairs. So, haven't got to the point in time yet where it's like, keep the door open,
Yeah.
But that's okay. It might be an interesting summer as far as that goes, but
that Saturday, William went to a birthday party and they took like 5 boys to Summit, and so I went and picked them up when they were done.
Summit Golf.
No, there's the Summit Arcade and bowling. And all that
I thought it was I'm thinking of a
Top
different
Golf.
place. Yeah, no, not Top Golf. You're not gonna take kids there, man.
I know.
I was like, yeah, you want a shot with that?
You're talking about the mini golf place.
I was thinking of the mini golf.
Oh yeah.
Academy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
It used to be Fountasia?
Fantasia?
I think so.
Or Mountasia? Mountasia's in Denver. So yeah.
Was it Mountasia?
Mountasia's up north in Denver.
Okay.
So
Huh, that sounds cool.
it's kind of a super mini golf place. Yeah.
There was nothing wrong. It was actually kind of a good mini golf place.
It was. Yeah.
And then,
Except for it was right next to Stablin House. Take your kids out, man. So go grab a beer. It was like, well, watch Daddy bleed out.
well, the Stablin House wasn't exactly far away from the Aaron Inn, and that place is also a little
Yeah, that place was always a
dicey.
little. I've been in there once. That place is definitely.
I don't know these.
It was a biker bar when I went there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, if bikers fall under the subhead of white trash, then that is
Yes. Yeah. That kind. Yeah.
It's the I think the genus is white trash. Biker is the species, but also
The breed.
but there were other forms of lot lizards and other kind of junk that was in there. So,
Yeah.
I had friends that really liked to go to that place. So.
In Denver?
No,
No,
it's here. It's
no.
up in Dublin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're near each other. Yeah.
They're right next to They're right across the street from each other. Ryan and I, we used to go to Stablin House. Fairly, not right, but maybe at least a couple
been
times a
there a
year.
few times,
Yeah. So, because they used to have really good pool tables. Well, they didn't have good pool tables, but you could get a table.
Right.
We'll put it that way.
Welcome to Phantom Canyon.
Yeah, welcome to Phantom Canyon, where it's like so overpriced and the pool tables aren't worth it. But anyway, but we went to the Aaron Inn once, and we had like maybe 2 beers before we were like, yeah, we gotta go. So yeah, there's another place up there that we used to go to that's a little bit further up.
On Academy?
Yeah, it was a Mexican bar though. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was full of Mexicans. It was actually a cool place. And so
If I recall, that place actually had good food, too.
I don't know if I had the food, but they were actually friendly there, even though you could tell they were all in like, MS-13. So,
Yeah, but the thing about that is sometimes those people don't want to attract attention.
No, they know you're a civilian, and so you
Right.
give it kind of this air of like legitimacy.
Right.
They leave you alone. Yeah.
So it's, he's going to buy drinks and he's going to tip.
Yeah.
But
Fucking gringos.
Will, tell the horror story of customer service that you encountered
Oh, like
just
Verizon?
trying to swap phones, dog.
Dude, so
When was this?
I'm just like last weekend.
Okay.
So I'm with T-Mobile. My girlfriend's with Verizon, and we were both the subsidiary of the assholes.
So to punctuate,
Yeah.
So
white trash, comma, biker.
I think the noise filter has caught most of it, but I guarantee you it didn't
That's
catch
gonna
that
show.
one. Yeah.
So you know what? People know.
Well, yeah, you get the window open. Yeah.
I'll close it.
Oh, that's fine.
So either place you go, we were gonna have to deal with the hassle of trying to get out of the other plan,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. And so we went to Verizon first, and the guy is just like, "Well, my girlfriend wanted to know, like she loves her phone, and she's like, I love the camera and the storage." He's like, "Okay, what does it compare to these?" And he's like, "I don't know. What phone do you have?" And she's like, "Well, I have this one." "Well, what kind is that?" This one. "There's 6 kinds of that. Which one is it?" It's like, I don't have I don't know.
And
And
here, motherfucker, you look.
I know. And it's right. You can literally pull up her phone number and just be
yeah.
like, "Oh, you have this and this. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is compared to that." And he's just like, "Okay, you're a dick. Okay, but we'll keep going." And so like, her ex won't like pick up the phone or talk to her or deal stuff, and so she's like, "How long would I have to wait to get a phone?" And he's like, "Well, you'll get a dummy number, and then we'll set up the plan under him, and then you can have your phone. But if you don't get this approval within 14 days, well, what happens in 14 days?" you don't want to know.
Wait, what?
He just was just like, it's not good. Because she can't have her dummy number for more than 14 days. So if the guy doesn't release her from her plan by then, and she's already got a phone that's got the dummy number, they like, he didn't even like explain it. He's just like, I'm like, okay.
So fuck Verizon.
Yeah. So then we left and went to T-Mobile, and they're actually working as a team. They're like, here's the number. Oh, you don't want to call in customer service here. They actually have a way to go into Verizon and you can cancel this here just on your phone. You don't even have to talk to them. And then they're like, I'm like, oh my God, wow, customers. Like the other dude was just like angry that we were there. It's like,
See, I'm telling you, man. People will actually employ turds now.
oh man.
That's a good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it, because I've been at my job before, and it's like, oh, I don't really want to get a job. I'm really enjoying doing absolutely nothing right now.
Yeah, roger that, but
nobody can see me doing that.
well, the other thing I can tell you is that those jobs are still commission based.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, and that's the thing is the labor market, like employers aren't wise to like this just quite yet, man. So they're still trying to treat, oh, we can just find more people to do this using the old plan, man. I'm watching like the bar go through this right now. They're losing everybody.
Really?
Yeah, because all the good restaurants out there are scraping the best talent off other places.
Oh.
And so they got all these new people starting. And there's like new faces on the wait staff every single fucking day. So, and it's just because it's like, well, what do we pay here? Nothing, you know? So,
what do you get?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, and I see so many other people complaining about that. Like, I still listen to Ramsey every day. And there's like, you know, still this narrative out there that it's like, you know, Americans are fucking lazy and blah, blah, blah. And they're not willing to work that hard. It's like, no, motherfucker, they don't have to.
Americans were never lazy.
Never
Americans
lazy.
have. Okay, let me share with you some. So I got some new students this week.
Oh, okay.
And one from. This is my first student that I'm fairly certain has got to be on one season of 90 Day Fiancé. She's from Brazil. Okay.
Okay.
She met her husband on OkCupid when she was in Brazil.
Okay.
They were married within 4 weeks.
Okay.
She is living in DC.
Okay.
Okay. And within 60, it was like 2 months, she was pregnant with her first child. So it's like, all right, I got it. And she's just like, but I don't speak English all that well. I'm like, I gotcha. No problem. You were plucked out of Brazil.
Right, yeah.
Not too long ago. And this is just part of the conversational piece. It's like, so talk to me about the differences about, you know, Brazil. What do you like here versus there? And she was just like, Americans just never stop thinking about work. They're always working.
Right.
Always working. It's like, yeah, that's kind of true. It's like there are other cultures that act like they're working more.
Oh yeah.
But nobody actually does more work and actual work than Americans.
Right, yeah.
And other cultures are like, you guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we passed South Korea again. It's always been like 1 and 2 for like the last 10 years, you know? It's kind of tag team. So depending on the number of suicides that are going on.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that American COVID suicides probably gave us the edge.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of COVID, my mom has COVID right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So she sounded like warmed over death on Monday, but then they gave her these pills that they have now.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours, she sounded fine. So she sounds pretty good right now. She says she feels really tired and shit. But apparently there's this antiviral drug now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. So
it's the one that they kind of rationed off for the
86-year-old portion of our population.
They're not looking out for like the 14-year-olds.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because a lot of them might have gotten COVID and just Who the hell knows?
The 6-year-old for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I took Livy in because she was sick, and they're like, well, we can do a test. It's a trifecta test, and it'll test for flu, it'll test for COVID, and it'll test for this respiratory infection that's been going around.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, okay. And he's like, but we don't treat COVID here. We don't treat the respiratory thing, and the flu stuff that we give usually gives a stomach problems.
Tamiflu.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like,
had it.
so
Does it give
I
you
don't
stomach
really recommend it.
No.
And he's like, so do you want to do the test? I'm like, no, it sounds like it's pointless. He's like, yeah, it's pretty pointless.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, okay.
Well, the only point behind it would be like if she was actually positive, you just keep her in for a day or two rather than go like run around with all the other kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and it turns out she had strep.
Oh, well, that's normal. That's called being a kid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sticking
And I was
things
just
in your
like,
mouth.
oh, okay.
You want to get to the bottom of it, but you don't. It's like, so you took the pennies. It's like, yeah. And they went straight in your mouth.
Yeah. And then you got strep. Amazing. Fucking amazing. So,
Dude, I remember, I cannot explain, the very idea of this makes me sick to my stomach now. Kind of like taking a bite out of like aluminum foil.
ooh.
But when I was younger, if like a doorknob or something wouldn't turn, I would
Use your teeth.
use my,
Oh,
and
jeez.
the idea of that
Still have
now,
a chip in one of my back teeth.
just it just makes me sick to my stomach. It's like, how can I do that?
Yeah.
And then I watch my kids start doing it. And I'm like, no, stop.
No.
Yeah.
That one I get to say don't do.
Do that.
You don't need to learn what happens.
Yeah.
I think it's revolting to me now.
Yeah. I don't.
But I did it so many times.
I think the only thing I used my teeth was to separate Legos. And now they have a little tool that just
I've seen that, yeah.
a little orange tool. So it's actually called the brick separator or something like that.
I learned recently about illegal Lego maneuvers.
Okay, this is a good place to end. We're at $1.40. So
Well, it's not as interesting as you think.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no, it's so like there are rules within the pieces where if you do this with these pieces in this way, that's an illegal maneuver because it is outside of the intended spec of the Lego. So like,
it's like it doesn't have structural integrity to support this move.
holy shit, man! Like,
Yeah, because the child has it.
I watched like I was fascinated by the fact that people fucking care about this.
Oh yeah. Oh man, people are Legos are weird.
So yeah. The thing was like there are some plates that like fit in between the dots, right? But some plates are okay for this and some are not.
Really?
And this all has to do with it actually changes the structural integrity of the Lego.
Oh my god.
If you don't use the sanctioned ones, and evidently, like if you do that and show people, they'll say that's an illegal maneuver.
You know, I'm not surprised by this. When Kat and I went to Brickfest, because we did that in like December or something.
You went to Brickfest?
Yeah, it was kind of dumb. So she and I tried to make it sound really cool because we go through and we watch all these guys. They got like all these tables set, and this was in the old what it used to be a Long's Drugs off Palmer Park and Academy. Remember?
Whoa.
Yeah. So there was a supermarket and then a Long's Drugs, and now they're all connected. And it's a little convention center. Okay. Yeah, I know. There's an oldie. So they had all these tables set up with all these people who had made like these huge dioramas. There was like trains all over the place and stuff. And there was like one that was nothing but pirate ships and things like that. It was really cool, but there were only like 2 of those. Okay, the rest of them were tables where they had like building competitions and things like that. Okay, and then there are other ones that had like, you know, okay, so this is the table where we're gonna do all the Marvel stuff, all right, and so we're having an Avengers build or something like that. And this is the Lord of the Rings one over here or whatever, kind of thing.
It sounds like that could be fun.
It kind of was, but the thing about it was that it was just like you could tell that the people who were all like really into this were like Yeah, I mean, like really, like your classic neck beard. Got into this when I was 13, and now I'm 43, and I'm still into it, kind of thing.
And not cool about it.
And not cool about it,
Right.
and it was also one of those things where they're like, "Don't touch that,"
Yeah.
and it was like, "This is the table where you're allowed to touch Lego," kind of thing. And so. And then, of course, to get out of there, you had to walk through this maze that was just full of all the sets they wanted to sell you.
Right,
Kind of thing. And so it was kind of like, all right, well, that was fun.
Did you buy one?
We bought one. So
What you got?
Kat got this Lego. It's like a Harry Potter. It's a set that's a 4-in-1 set where you can make the different shields from the different houses, just using the little dots. Okay, so it's kind of an artistic piece. So she kind of likes those. It's pretty cool. We got a world map one that's really cool. So
Wow.
and it's just a single piece. It's just all the little single dots.
Wow.
So, and you make it one at a time. It's kind of cool.
It's just pixel art. It's just really
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Pixel art.
Or bead art, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beads. Yeah, because the pixels, you never be able to get them all off. So, yeah. So, but that, I mean, it was also one of those things where I absolutely positively, expect somebody to break. That's against the rules. And give me your fucking badge. I'm going to report you to the Lego authorities.
You cannot come to the next event.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they got you over the table and you're taking out like your hip pistol and your fucking ankle pistol, and you give them your badge. And that's Brickfest.
That was Brickfest.
That's where you turned over your badge.
Well, yeah, you would be turning in your badge if you actually performed an illegal Lego maneuver. So, and then you'd be beaten by the community.
You literally walk
not
in
be
and
beaten.
just build that maneuver. And you're like,
Yeah, check this out.
Ah!
Yeah?
You would not be beaten by those people.
No, I actually think I could take them.
I know
So,
you could.
Yeah, okay.
You've seen it.
they would use their catapult.
I know what a vegetable
Fire
is.
Legos
Yeah.
at you.
Do they actually have firing catapults now?
I don't know.
I know they had cannons.
Yeah, they don't fire anymore because kids choked on them. So I have some of both, some of the non-firing and the firing versions.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're worth something on eBay, but I don't give a shit. So
There's evidently the place you want to go to is Brickseek.
oh, yep, I bet you I've got some Legos in there that are highly desirable. Now, how many teeth marks they have actually produce the value. So,
All right.
there we go. That's a good spot. Don't chew on your Legos, kids.
There you go.
All right, $1.46. Any last thoughts?
Go Avalanche.
Go Avalanche.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
We're on to the next round, so
Yep.
we're good.
Okay, we'll take that. Go Avalanche. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting the button.